Hey, what's up, guys? We are recording our first vlog. I did one the other day, but this is our first one together on the new GoPro.
Yes.
We just got the Hero 10, and so far we're very, very satisfied with it. Our other vlogging camera is awesome, but it is a little clunky. It's still also a great camera for photography. This is like just the perfect little like miniature at-home vlogging setup.
Yep.
But anyway, we're not sponsored or anything. We just, if you're looking for a really dope,
right.
functional vlogging camera, this is it. So that being said, we are here to tell you that your thoughts could be ruining all of your relationships. Or conversely, they could also be helping all your relationships and helping you improve your relationships. So the topic of today's video is going to be on thoughts and relationships. How do these two kind of go hand in hand? We're going to first start by kind of defining what a relationship is. And then we'll kind of go and give some personal examples of like, you know, how our thoughts have either negatively or positively affected our relationships. And then we'll, discuss a little bit more from there. So, that being said,
Here's the question.
you were supposed to ask the question.
Oh, right.
Whoops.
We practiced this, but anyway.
Right.
So, babe, what does a relationship mean to you?
To me, I would say a relationship in a general term, I'd say is a connection that you have to somebody. You know, they're not just a passerby. They're not just someone you pass by and say hi to. It's either a romantic relationship with someone who you love. Could be a friendship with just a friend, or it could be like a work relationship just with like a coworker or a boss, or potential business partner. Just someone who you do have a connection with, someone who you speak with, someone who you might be more affected emotionally by than just a random person you're not very close with.
That's a really good explanation. Yeah.
That's what I say. What would you say?
Well, I would say the same thing, but I'm gonna take a different route. I'm gonna hit more of the spiritual route of a relationship. I would say a relationship is someone that you relate to so much, like you said, family, partner, friend, whatever it is, that you send each other energy and you accept each other's energy. That's what a relationship is. It's something that you are mutual of giving and getting from someone, because you don't have to relate to people at all. There's like a bunch of strangers that walk by and like you don't relate to them or anything, but there's those few people in your life that might not even be family. It might be your best friend that you relate to so well that you just randomly think about them, or they'll send you something, like you said, that affects your own emotions. So that's what I would say a relationship is.
That's cool. Well, so given our definitions of relationship, I think they're both very applicable. So whichever one you are more in favor of, or if you have your own opinion about what a relationship is, drop in the comments below. We will get back to you and we will engage you in a discussion, if you want. But so given that, my question for you then will be, what are some moments you can kind of point to in your own life where your thinking pattern, your thoughts that you're just kind of having throughout the day, are either negatively or positively affecting your relationship, like in the past, in the future, or not the future, but in the past, in the present. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's me, maybe it's family, whoever.
So I would name one situation. I would definitely say my workplace. I work with my sisters, so that definitely is a little too close when it comes to a workplace. So I would say there's moments where I do let negativity affect my emotions, and I come home and kind of mirror that on to someone else unintentionally. Um, Sometimes I don't even know I'm angry at all because I'm so deeply angry that I don't know I'm angry. Yeah, so I would say those, and I would name one good one. I would say even when you go to a store and someone's just really nice to you, like they just send you good energy, and you go home and all of a sudden you're in a good mood and you treat everyone else nice, and it's just like dominoes effect. It just keeps on going from there. So, what about you?
For me, yeah, I'd say kind of similar. Um, I would definitely say, work. Work is definitely a big one. Like whenever I'm stressed out at work, I tend to I tend to take that stress into multiple areas of my life. So say for instance, right? I would have a stressful day at work sometimes, and I just be in charge of kind of managing and controlling a bunch of things, putting out some fires, etc. And I get off work, and then I'm kind of in this mode of like getting stuff done, kind of moving through, accomplishing things, and then I get home, instead of being like happy to see my partner, I would feel kind of stressed out, and I would still be in work mode, and I'd still be thinking about, all right, what needs to be done around the house, what chores do we need to take care of, like, and instead of like just enjoying that moment and like relaxing that I'm home, I'm trying to like nitpick and like find things that need to be done or solved around the house, instead of realizing, hey, I can just do that in an hour, or I can just,
Right.
do that tomorrow morning. So I'd say definitely that's a personal example from my own life.
Yeah, I'd say that.
And then so the next thing is that's kind of a little bit general. Um, so the next thing I would say, just as a talking point, is your thoughts specifically about another person can also affect your relationship with them. For instance, if let's just say maybe you have a partner or a friend, or a lover or somebody, and they have a habit of sometimes being irritable, right? Sometimes being irritable, sometimes snapping, sometimes having a short temper, and sometimes they might take that out on you sometimes, even if it's unintentional. And but how sometimes, say you're going to go meet this person, and the only thing that you can think about in your mind as you're going to meet this person is, they're gonna be, mad, they're gonna be irritated, they're gonna find something to complain about. It's gonna be such a stressful interaction, and before you even arrive to this person's house or wherever you're meeting them, you're already kind of wound up in your brain, and you're already kind of preparing for the worst. And so when you get there, you don't necessarily get to be that true person, who your true self with that person. You're kind of putting up a front, you're probably putting up a guard, you're trying to guard your energy, you're preparing, you're tense. And that when that other person sees that energy, it's just going to encourage them to act in the way that they normally act. And I believe sometimes by disarming people, by expecting the best out of them instead of expecting the worst, instead of expecting what they usually do, and that allows you to kind of just spread better energy, love, empathy towards them. And a lot of times that can disarm them completely and put them in a different state of mind, and they'll act completely different than how they've been acting.
Yeah.
And what'd you say?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's always worked with me with everything in my life, is doing the unexpected, killing them with kindness. Like even when we've had like a couple like racist comments or whatever, like just killing them with kindness. And although I might not be happy about it, I do it because I know how it will affect them.
Right.
And I know how it's going to affect me, and I know I'm going to end up happier, and I'm going to let it go versus thinking about it, thinking about what I could have said, thinking about what else I could have said. And it's just to make my life easier. Why not?
Exactly. Yeah, I definitely think so. And it can just be so. I guess the challenge is kind of trying to do it. That's the hard part, is when someone has kind of been getting under your skin, when your last few interactions haven't been so positive with a person. It's so easy to just be angry at them. It's so easy to just not expect something better out of them. In a way, you almost want them to continue acting up, or repeating the negative behavior, just to prove your point right, that that's just them. They're just a negative person. They're just an angry person all the time. And it kind of like, and then when they're an angry person, there's a little part of your brain, believe it or not, that's kind of like, oh, guess what? I'm right. I was right. I predicted the future. And it kind of makes you feel happy in a weird, kind of twisted way. So the hard part is really making a conscious effort. Like, really realize, like, if you're on your way to meet somebody, or you're going to see somebody, and you're already kind of like tense about the interaction, I would honestly suggest really be aware of that thought. Like we mentioned in some of our previous videos, like, being aware of your thoughts, being aware of your emotions is the first step to changing things. So I would say definitely be aware of those thoughts, be aware of those emotions, and try to figure out where they're coming from. And once you kind of identify the thought, oh, last time I talked with this person, they kind of just put me in a bad mood, yada yada, and really just accept the feeling, accept what happened, and then kind of forgive it, and then as you're going to meet them in the second, in your upcoming meeting, or meetup or date or whatever, right? Really focus hard on changing your thoughts, instead of thinking, oh, this person's gonna be such and such. Like, think, all right, I'm expecting the best out of this person. This person's gonna be in a great mood. This person's gonna be in a happy mood. This person's gonna be accepting of what I have to say. This person's gonna be completely different than the last time I see them, and actually really believe it. And before long, you'll sit there and you'll be happy to see them, because in your mind now, instead of having this negative picture of them in your mind, you have a positive, happy experience in your mind. And yeah. What would you say is like a tip for kind of changing your thinking?
For me, I would say what's really helped me a lot, which is interesting because I heard this on Think Like a Monk, great book, highly recommend, about being aware of your feelings is good. I do believe that's where it starts. And by being aware, you can do that by seeing clues. Like, oh, usually I do this, but this time I don't want that. Usually I'm hungry now, but now I'm not. Like, at first it's hard to be aware. That's the whole purpose of learning how to be aware, is you got to understand your body language. You got to understand yourself. You got to give yourself clues of how you are feeling, because you're on autopilot until you are aware. And after you're aware, everything's so much easier. So yeah, taking those steps to become aware of just how do you react when you're mad? How do you react when you're sad? Like, understanding what emotion you're feeling. And once you discover your emotion, then you get a little book and you write it down. You write down how you feel, or you write down a list of things that could have gotten you angry or sad or whatever it is that you're feeling that day, and go through every single one of them and feel and understand your reaction towards it. Does your heart beat faster when you went over this, this section, or did the whole thing make you angry? Like, that's how you get to understand what made you angry that day, that caused the rest of those angry emotions. Because it's usually just one thing that starts it, and you allow it to continue into your entire day. And the second you discover what it is, you will feel so relieved, because you have been subconsciously trying to figure it out so badly that even that caused you to be angry. So the second you understand why you are angry, you are more likely to just let it go, because now your brain knows exactly what caused it, and now you can either fix it or continue to be angry. So I highly recommend a notebook.
Sometimes you're just angry that you're angry.
Yes.
You don't even know. Maybe you're angry. Maybe your anger is just at yourself, and really writing it down and understanding it helps you just forgive yourself and move past whatever you did that made you angry at yourself, and that It's a good way for moving forward. But tell us what you think in the comments below. Send us a message, give us some feedback. We're interested in hearing your experiences, your thoughts on the matter. How do thoughts affect your relationship? How do thoughts kind of affect your emotions that you kind of give to your partner? Have you ever lost a relationship over your thinking patterns? Or have you ever gained a relationship because of your thinking patterns?
Right, and feel free to write any examples or tips of how you control your thinking patterns, and we all need that.
Yeah, we need as much positive thinking as we can these days. So appreciate you watching, appreciate you tuning in. As always, like, follow, subscribe. It helps us. We're trying to build something here. We're trying to create a community, and we value each and every one of you guys.
Thank you.
So we will see you next time, which will probably be tomorrow. All right, peace.